Hello, everybody. Dr. Joe Borio here. I'm at my home in Italy here for a month. We're in Vico del Gargano, Italy. It's in Puglia, Italy. It's just above the heel. It is just one of the most spectacular places that I've ever seen in my life. And I'm sitting here on our terrace. The Adriatic Sea is behind me. I've been on calls with docs that have become my friends over the years, and it's such an honor to be part of their journey as a mentor, as a teacher, as somebody who always tries to learn from Emerson and Napoleon Hill. Always try to over deliver and share with people what I've learned, to pay it forward. I wanted to share a story with you about a woman. Her name was Janice. I shouldn't say was. I mean, I still see her in my office. Her name's Janice, and I'd seen her for 5 or 6 years, and we're in Cicero, New York. My office. I'm still in practice, and I was taking care of her, like I said, for a number of years, and it happened to be a day where we were really busy in that moment. You have those moments in your office where you're, that prime time, and you're seeing a lot of people. And she had asked the staff that she needed to talk to me privately. And, and my first reaction was, we adjust during that time. I really didn't, there's down times. I have a lot of times that people want to talk to you a little bit more, and it doesn't mean I don't love and care about them, but you have a lot of people you want to certainly take care of. And it was just during that prime time, and I was like, oh man, it just was not a convenient moment to have a conversation with her. But so I said, we'll put her in one of the conference rooms and let her know I'll be with her, as soon as I can. And you want to give everyone the time they deserve and do the best job you can as a chiropractor. So I'm doing the best that I can, and I went into the room, and I said, Janice, my staff said you wanted to talk to me, and she had a bag with her, a drugstore bag, and a Rite Aid bag is what it was, and she had some things in there, and she had some papers in there. So I thought, maybe some of you guys know what I'm talking about. I thought she wanted to talk to me about some vitamin or something, and somebody will go to the store and say, listen, I was, should I take this vitamin, or should I take this supplement, or, I bought this, is this any good, or whatever. And so, so I kind of expected that conversation. I had an adjusting room in there, so I was going to talk to her for a few minutes and get her adjusted, and I see her for wellness care. And she said, no, I really need to talk to you. So she put her hand on me, and and she basically indicated to me, listen, you need to sit down, and you need to listen to me. And in the moment, I wasn't there. You know what I mean? In the moment, I was like, okay, I'm gonna listen to her for a moment here, in a superficial way. Not that I didn't care, not that I didn't want to address it, but I got a room full of people, and then I'm gonna adjust her, or let her know if it was something that was more important. I could call her later by all means, or I could absolutely schedule her at a different time, but I didn't want it to be disrespectful to other people and to her. And so, I sat down, and she looked me in the eye, and she goes, I really need to share something with you. I've been seeing you for a long time, and I never told you this, she said. And I was cleaning my kitchen, and she goes, and I guess, put it out of my head or forgot about it myself. But she said, I was in the cabinet, and tucked on the left side of my sink, I keep vitamins and meds and such. And she said, and there was a bag in there. It was tucked all the way in the back, and I pulled it forward. And she said, I found it this morning. And she said, and I need to share this with you. She said, before I came in to see you a long time ago, she said, I was at the end of my rope. She goes, I had seen many other doctors to get help, to get care, and I just felt absolutely horrible. I had lost all hope of ever feeling okay. I was in so much pain, with chronic headaches and pain and thyroid issues, and and breathing issues. And she said, and I just realized that I just didn't want to continue doing this anymore. And she said, so I went to Rite Aid, to the grocery store, or to the drugstore, and I bought 4 bottles of Tylenol. And I brought them home. And she said, I had written a letter to my family, and I told them that I didn't want to live like this anymore, and that I would ask for their forgiveness, and I asked God to forgive me as well, and I was going to swallow down as many pills as I could, and I was going to end my life. And that day when the newspaper came, she said, you put this flyer in there, and you talked about yourself, and you talked about chiropractic care, and you talked about how much you love helping people, and that's your purpose and your mission, and that your body's meant to be well, and it's meant to feel great and work great, and it needs to be taken care of. And I read that, and she said, and I took the flyer, and I took the letter, and I put them in a bag with the Tylenol, and I put it in the kitchen cabinet. And she said, I'm going to call this guy, and I'm going to give it one more shot. She said, it was your picture and what you said that made a big difference for me in giving me a little bit of hope that I had none before. I had no hope. And she said, I came in your office, and you did your exam, and you took some x-rays, and I went home, and she said, I was still very skeptical. I was very unsure. And I came back the next day, and you told me that you had found some things and you wanted to take care of me, that you could take care of me. And I remember asking you, can you make everything go away? And you said, I don't know. I know that you'll be healthier. You'll be better off by getting care in my office. And I started getting care. And she said, and it wasn't tomorrow, and it wasn't the next day. It took a little while, she said, but as the weeks and months went on, I felt better and better and better. And she said, I forgot all about it. I mean, that bag that was to the front of my kitchen cabinet ended up being pushed back to the edge of the cabinet, and years had passed. And she goes, and I essentially forgot it or pushed it out of my mind that I was even considering that. And she says, and this morning when I was in the kitchen and I was going through the cabinet, I found that, and I needed to share it with you, that you changed my life, that what you do here in the office matters and made a massive difference for me. And you know I'm your biggest fan, and I try to tell everyone to go to the chiropractor. I think everybody in the world needs to go to the chiropractor. And she says, and you know, I do my best to get other people in here, but I think you needed to know that. So some days I don't know that you know how much of an impact you have in other people's lives. And so first I felt really guilty because I didn't want to go back in the room. So at first I was overwhelmed by guilt. And then you're overwhelmed by the love and the appreciation of the moment. And then you realize that what you do is important. And I think we forget, and this is meant to all of us, not to me, not to Joe Borio accoladed. It's meant to all of us that we forget. You know, you want the world to love what you do as a chiropractor, and you want everyone to come. Everyone needs to go. I don't question that at all. Every mom and dad and their kids and everybody needs to go. And you want them all under care. And you know what? It's just, you wonder sometimes how you can love people to the degree that you love them and give every bit of every cell of your freaking body, and you're honest and you care. And boy, you got people that push against you, and the world sometimes pushes against you, and other people push against you, and you're wondering, how is it that something that's so powerful and so beneficial can be met with so much resistance sometimes? But when you think of those moments, and you all have them, this certainly isn't about elevating me. You know, you got to remember those moments, because it's those moments that make what you do right. It's always the right time to do the right thing. It's always the right time to go a little bit harder, a little bit further, to be a little bit more present, to be a little bit more caring, to be a little bit more loving, to be a little bit more empathetic. It's always right to do that. You know, in my final moment here, I just want to tell you the one thing that changes everything for me, that changed everything for me in my life in practice, was that one day I stopped treating people. I don't treat people. I don't connect what I do to anything. Chiropractic's not better than something. It's not, to me, it's not an alternative. It's not a replacement for a drug. It's not a better way to treat asthma. It's not a better way to treat a migraine. It's not better for anything. It's, in the end, it's just good for you to be under care. It is better than good for you. It's great to be under care. Your life is better if you're getting adjusted. If your brain could talk better to your body, and I don't know that anyone would say no to that. Your health is better, your body's better, your brain's better, your organs are better. Every part of you is better because your body and brain could talk better to themselves. Your spine's less likely to rot. Sure, you feel better, you have less aches and pains, but that's not what it's about. It's about taking care of a part of your body that is instrumental in every aspect of health and function. That's what it's about. And when I stopped connecting it to it, when I stopped looking at what I did as an alternative, when I stopped looking at what I did as do this rather than this, when I stopped saying, hey, listen, my job is to get people off drugs, my job is to stop getting people to get surgery, when I stopped all of that, guess what? More people stopped taking drugs and more people stopped getting surgery, because what they did is they started taking care of themselves, or an element of their health, not the only part that makes you well, but certainly an element of their body that was neglected, their brain, their spine, and their nervous system. As soon as they started taking better care of that, their overall health improved, their life got better, they lived longer, there's less medication, less drugs, and even if, God forbid, they never took less drugs, and even if they never had to stop getting a surgery, one's got nothing to do with the other. They just separated themselves. And that was the one thing that changed for me. It changed everything about what I do and why I do what I do. And it changed my conversations with people, and it changed how I talk to people. It changed how I care for people. You know, one of the things I always share with people when I start care is this. My job is not to treat you. My job is to take care of you forever. And if I take care of you forever, you're going to put some time, effort, and money into your body, and I'm telling you, the rewards are monumental. They're eternal for you and for them. And I stopped fighting against things, and I started fighting for things. I started fighting for them and their health and for chiropractic, and I stopped fighting against, you know, if you will, what sometimes we're thought that we're supposed to fight against. And in the end, what I found was their lives were better, my life was better. I enjoyed my office more. I enjoyed people more. I found my interaction with people to be so much more pleasant. I started seeing more children. I started seeing the children of the children. And now I'm 53, so I see the children of the children of the children, you know. And my life was changed by a coach. You know, Reggie Gold changed my life. I was struggling in practice for a number of years, and I met this guy, and he literally changed every part of my life and everything I do and why I do it. And I started coaching because I wanted to model my life after a mentor that changed my life. I wanted to be a coach, not to elevate myself or get accolades. I wanted to coach people so that their life could be benefited like mine was. And I wanted to do it to a level that Reggie did for me. I wanted to do it in that direct, loving, empathetic, but fair, brutally fair sometimes, in a way to elevate others so that their lives would be better, serving other people with more chiropractic care. And we would have a bigger impact. And that's why I still do what I do. Not only go to the office, but also I love being on calls and mentoring and teaching and sharing in every way I possibly can for other chiropractors to improve their life and therefore improve the lives of others. Listen, if you're looking for a coach, I'm not a guy that's going to wear a three-piece suit. I'm not a guy that puts on a big fancy show. I'm not that. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. I'm Joe Borio. I'm real. I'm authentic. I'm going to tell you the way it is, just like Reggie did. And if you're looking for the real, authentic stuff, the juice, the gold, if you're looking for better ways to communicate, if you're looking for better ways to serve more people, if you're looking for better ways to create abundance in your life and for those people you serve, I think you're making a mistake if you're not checking us out. And when somebody says, hey, listen, I want you to work with you, it is truly one of the most humbling moments I have. Just like when somebody looks at me to care for them as their doctor, when somebody says, will you help lead me in some way and mentor me in some way? It's not something I take lightly. I can tell you, and I tell every client that. It is truly something that I take seriously, because everyone I touch, whether it's a chiropractor or a chiropractic coach, I truly feel Reggie is with me. I truly feel Reggie and Sid Williams and Jim Sigafus and Fred Barge are with me each and every time to have that interaction with somebody to help change their life. And that's what I'm here for. So we got an event coming up at Dr. Joe Holman's office in Prague, Oklahoma. That's going to be in August. Check us out there. I'm going to be September. I got a boot camp at my office. That's a full day experience, which is fantastic. We're going to be in Austin, Texas in November. You can call me on my cell phone. You can reach out to me on Facebook. You can sign up as a client anytime you're ready to make a big shift in your life. If you're ready, if you know that you're meant for more, if you want to do more, and you're ready, again, I'm here for you. And I think we've got, in a very humble way, I think we've got the most powerful coaching program out there, not only through content, but through group and the people we work with and the docs that are part of our program. I truly think we've got the best group out there in chiropractic. And if it resonates with you, and I resonate with you, boy, I'll tell you, I would love to have you part of that group. There's no doubt about it. I've gone way over my time. I love and appreciate you. Thanks for loving what I love, chiropractors. And if you're with a coach and you're loving it and life is great, man, I tell you, stay fully committed. If you're not, or you're certainly not resonate with who you're with, I'd love the opportunity to elevate you to be you're the best version of yourself, because the stakes are too high. And that's certainly what I think the reason I'm on this planet for is to make that difference for other docs, to help them serve at the highest level. Again, guys, thanks so much. Dr. Joe giving you a shout out here from Vico del Gargano, Italy, and love to talk to you more.